Welcome all my home buyers out there. My name is Omar Pineda, your Austin realtor with eXp Realty, and today we are in the city of Georgetown, Texas, in a brand new master plan community called Nolina. And the builder we're looking at today is Perry Homes. As you can see, this is a row of all the model homes because there's 4 different builders here, and I'm going to be doing a video on each one of the builders here so you can have a look to see what each builder has to offer. So in the description, I will link all the other additional model home tours with my commentary, so keep an eye out for that. But today we're going to be looking at Perry Homes. And one great thing about this community is that it's so new, and you can see kind of in the background there's so many lots available. So if you are a home buyer and you've been really wanting to have a specific lot, like at the end of a cul-de-sac or behind a green belt, or you just want a really big backyard or a really long driveway, you're probably going to find it in this community because of how new it is. Now, here is Perry Homes, their model home tour. Now, this floor plan, I should say, has everything you could possibly want all in one story. So the floor plan is called 2944W. A lot of times with Perry Homes, and the name of the floor plans is that it is exactly what the square footage is. So this floor plan is 4 beds, 3.5 baths, 2,944 square feet, a 1-story. It has a media room and a home office. It has a 3-car tandem garage, and it's starting from the 610s. Now you can see here, open floor plan. This almost screen wall is definitely an upgrade, but it's beautiful, isn't it? So keep in mind that in the model homes, a lot of times you're going to see the best version of that the builder's going to be offering. So what do I mean? There's going to be lots of upgrades that you might not see in their inventory or spec homes. So here, that wall that's very opens up to the back patio is definitely one of them. Here's a nice little optional little bar area right before you enter the primary bedroom. How cool is that? That would be awesome for like a little bar setup or a little coffee bar setup, whatever you would want right outside, which I think I haven't seen that yet as far as design yet for a model home yet. So again, we're in the primary bedroom, and the way this kind of house kind of it flows is that I like to think of it as the front and the back part of the house. So the back part of the house has the primary bedroom and this awesome guest bedroom that I think would be perfect if you have visitors or if you have in-laws that stay with you. And then the front part of the house are the additional bedrooms, which would be ideal for the kids. And it also includes a home office. So like I said, this house has a little bit of everything you'd possibly need all under 1 story. It even has his and hers walk-in closets. Take a wild guess as to which belongs to which, just by judging it by the size. Yes, this one would probably definitely be the gentleman of the house's walk-in closet because of the size. And then there's an extra linen closet right there. Now, again, we're in the back part of the house, which is typically where I would want the primary bedroom because it's kind of the privacy and having it feels like you're in your own wing of the house, right? And one thing I like about Perry Homes is definitely the windows that they designed here, because you get so much natural sunlight. It's almost top to bottom. You could tell the ceilings are higher than your standard ceiling. I believe these are 12-foot ceilings, which adds this very luxurious effect to it. I'm not sure if it's an upgrade or not. I'm pretty sure that's going to come standard in this community, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. Here's the home office right at the front of the house. So now we're going to be in the front half of the house that has the home office, that has the additional 2 bedrooms and that shared bath. So here's bedroom number 1. This is one, and I'll give it to Perry Homes that on their website, they actually include the dimensions of the rooms, which is always nice. This is a 13 by 11 bedroom. Nice walk-in closet, and these are 60-foot lots. So because it's a 60-foot lot, and so you have a lot of space. That's why you have extra bigger walk-in closets, bigger bedrooms. And when we see this guest bedroom, I think it's the best way that they really utilize the space well in this design for this floor plan that I really liked, that we're going to see here in a second. Again, here's the other additional bedroom. Walk-in closet. These are all very large walk-in closets. And here's the shared bath. Beautiful. Now again, we are in the community called Nolina. They have been around for a little while now. I want to say I went to go visit them for the first time of January this year. And when I took this video, this was about a month ago. So still around the summertime of 2024. So here's a few facts about the community. HOA is $55 a month, so that's not too bad. Tax rate 2.51. That is a little bit on the high side for me. Definitely not the cheapest taxes when it comes to a community, but there is always going to be pros and cons. It just depends on what matters to you the most, right? Because one, that's definitely, I would say, a con in this community. The school district is going to be another, I think, hesitation on why people may not consider even checking out this community, because it does belong to the Florence ISD. But a little bit later in this video, I'm going to show you why that's a positive. Why that's a positive, because Georgetown ISD, Liberty Hill ISD, and Leander ISD is definitely a little bit more, reputation-wise, more of where the top-rated schools are. But I'm going to show you why Florence ISD can be in the same arena as these other school districts. And there's actually a plus side that Florence has that the other school districts don't have, that I will show you here in a second. Again, we are in the guest bedroom now that I think would be perfect for guests, because it's very private. It's, again, towards the back of the house. It has that long hallway, and it has its own private bath. So great for guests. It has its own linen closet. You can see here, look how nice that would be for your guests. Complete privacy, especially if you plan on having people stay over for more than just a weekend. That would be perfect for it. So this is a fantastic floor plan to have everything you possibly need with the home office. It has a little optional bar in the back before you enter the primary. The whole layout is very functional. Right there is where the sales offices are. That's where the 3-car tandem garage would be if this was a completed floor plan, not just the model home. And again, that media room is definitely an upgrade that does not come standard. So now we're going to check out the backyard here. This is a nice extended back patio. Again, that's definitely an upgrade when it's that large. But you could just see the quality of Perry Homes. One thing I love about Perry Homes is their warranty program. Perry Homes is the only one that I know of that has not just a 1 year, that's usually standard for most builders, but a 2-year warranty when it comes to their workmanship, right? The workmanship. So anything that, when it comes to like the cosmetics, is Perry will take care of that. And they handle that in-house. They don't offer that to a third party to get fixed. So you can see here, this is the row of all the model homes with all 4 of the different builders. I believe you have Taylor Morrison, you have Weston Homes, and you have Chesmar Homes all here. And then the home that we just saw was the one on the far left there. They're at the very end on the left there. That's Perry Homes. And you can see just how much available lots that they have. So there's still time to get some premium lots here. And the best thing about this community is that not enough people know about it. And they're trying their hardest to incentivize more people to come out by offering more incentives. They have a ton of inventory because, again, not enough people have been hearing about this. And if you look at it on the map, it does feel like it's out there, right? It does feel like it's quite a drive off going up Ronald Reagan. But if you are considering moving to Santa Rita Ranch and that area, it's just a little bit further up. I would invite you to come check this out and compare it to Santa Rita Ranch, because I can promise you, you could probably get a better price per square foot in this community because, one, it's newer, and two, they are having more amazing deals because they're newer. So you can just see how much available lots they have and how much inventory they've been stacking up, right? I'm getting emails from all the builders of this, how much incentives they're offering when it comes to helping buy down the interest rate, helping with the closing costs. So let's pause here, and I'm going to show you what I mean. So let me share my screen here. Look at the inventory here now. Look, this is what I see on my MLS, and you could see that, let's say since January, that's when I first visited, and we're in July now. So it's at 7 months, and they've only sold 2 homes. in the last night. Well, I'm sorry, I take that back. When I did the search criteria for the last 90 days, so for the last 3 months, they've only sold 2 homes. That shows you, and that's not good, ladies and gentlemen. That's not good. You can see just how much inventory they've been stacking up, right? So why is that good for you, the buyer? Because when we have a lot of inventory, there's more deals that we can make and more room for negotiating that I can do on your behalf, right? They have 3 pending, which is not a lot. They haven't been consistently selling, and that's why they're offering more and more of an incentive to help with the financial part. And I think even more so than what Santa Rita Ranch would be offering, or Morningstar for that fact, because those are just a lot more well-established communities and the demand is being met by the buyers. Here, it's not. So that's where you could take advantage of it if you're looking at Nolina. So really quickly here, this is Nolina. This is the community of Nolina. It's northwest Georgetown. So for kind of a point of reference, here's Georgetown. That's kind of like where the city square is. And if we go northwest, this is where Nolina is. So you can see this is Ronald Reagan Boulevard. They're building a bunch more new construction communities. Everything you see in orange here are builders and communities, right? Palmer Ranch is right across the street. And here's Santa Rita Ranch, right? So if you go north on Ronald Reagan, you're going to definitely pass Santa Rita Ranch, which is very famous. They have a ton of builders, but it's a little bit, it's almost too crowded if you ask me. If you're looking for something a little bit less of a community, like as far as number of homes and just having so many neighbors around, then Nolina might be a little bit better fit. I feel very confident that we can get a better price because the demand it hasn't been met yet, and they just have better incentives, is what I'm saying. Okay, so that's where it kind of is in the map. Oh, that's what I wanted to point out to you. So here are 2 very exciting things that are happening nearby in this community. So 1, we have a new middle school coming up. And this middle school, I believe, is going to belong to the Georgetown ISD. And that's the kind of funny thing about it, on how the school district lines work. Even though if you're on this side of Ronald Reagan, like where Palmer Ranch is, you belong to Georgetown ISD. But because we're on the other side of Ronald Reagan, that belongs to Florence ISD. So it's just the way it worked out with this community that belongs to Florence ISD. But I'm going to show you why that's not necessarily a bad thing. And here we have an HEB coming soon. That was another thing that I saw that could be a hindrance to people, is that like it's out there, it's not close to all the conveniences where it's just a nice convenient drive to pick up, all the daily essentials. But it's coming. It's coming because there's so many homes being built out here. Now they can actually approach HEB and all the big box stores to come out, because now they have enough homes where it makes sense for them to invest and build out here. So that's coming up in the pipeline. So here's Florence right here. This is an ISD that you would belong to if you come to this community of Nolina. But let me show you something really cool. So I ran a school report for Liberty Hill, Leander, and Florence. Now here's some cool things that I really wanted to point out. So here is Liberty Hill, and you can see their grades are, of course, A's, because they're well known to have the very highly rated schools. But let's take a note of the ACT and SAT scores, right? So ACT is 27, SAT is 1190 for Liberty Hill. Now if we go to Leander, we're going to see something very similar. All A's across the board. We're going to have 27 ACT and 1240 SAT. So very close, in the same ballpark. Now let's take a look at Florence ISD. Florence ISD for ACT and SAT score. Again, you can see the letter grades are just one level below, which is not too bad, but ACT is 22, SAT is 1120. That's in the same ballpark. I would argue that's in the same ballpark. Again, let's do a quick little side-by-side. That's all in the same ballpark. So the schools there aren't that bad. You're going to get that same quality education. But here's what Florence ISD that Liberty Hill and Leander do not have. They have the school lunch program, because if you go on their Facebook page or their school website, they pride themselves on having the farm fresh food, because they partner up with a lot of the local farmers in the area, because Florence is a lot of farm country, and that's what your children are going to eat. So you're eating fresh food, and you could take and learn all about it on their website. They definitely pride themselves on it. So you can read a lot about it. And then you can see in the numbers, it reflects that. Students in free lunch program, 69% and 65%. Remember that number. Now, if we go back to Leander, 28% and 19% that of students that participate in the free lunch program. And then we have in Liberty Hill, 31% and 25%. Now, that to me is a staggering difference when it comes to participation in the school lunch program, which is a testament to Florence ISD that the food there is good and students are eating it. And they even have stuff for the summertime. So again, I invite you to check out their Facebook page and check out their website, because it talks all about their program when it comes to how the Texas Farm Fresh, getting that farm to table, if you will, for your child, for the students there. So I covered all that. That was one of the last things I wanted to cover, which was how the Florence ISD, because I know that's going to be a drawback, but I hope I painted a good enough picture so you can kind of see, weigh the pros and cons, because I don't think that should be a deal breaker. I don't think that should be a deal breaker one bit. Now, what should your next step be? If you are wanting to tour this community, let's schedule a time. Let's first hop on a Zoom call so we can get to have some one-on-one time and we can figure out your criteria better. We can do my consultation, because I really believe in the 5 Ps. And this is something I learned back in my Marine Corps days, which is proper planning prevents poor performance. So if we have a great first meeting, which is the consultation that we do over Zoom, and we figure out exactly what your needs and wants are and kind of go through that journey together, and then figure out what your deal breakers are and even see if this community is a good fit, then it's going to make the house hunting part a lot more smoother. So we're actually being very intentional when we're going house hunting, and we're not just going to look at the pretty homes, right? Because it can be very overwhelming when we see 10 homes in one day or 30 homes in one weekend, and then it's just like all kind of just like a blur, because we're not comparing it to anything. So that's why that consultation that I do is so important. So we have that, and as we are touring the homes, we're being very intentional about, like, does this check all the boxes? And if it doesn't, can we compromise anywhere, right? Because at the end of the day, there is no such thing as a perfect home. There's going to be compromise somewhere. If it's not between the location, maybe it's with the price, maybe it's with the floor plan. But again, this helps alleviate some of those pain points that I see all the time with buyers, because they just can't, they get a little bit, they get decision fatigue. Right? So let's schedule a Zoom call. If you are a buyer looking to buy in 2024, maybe not in the next 30 to 60 days, let's still schedule a time to talk, because I love being a part of the journey no matter where you're at, because I want to see where I can be of best value, right? You don't necessarily have to be buying now. Let's establish a relationship now, so that way we have time. If we have time on our side, that's even better, so we can really see, and I can we can really fine tune which community is going to be a good fit, because again, all of them have a different vibe, if depending on what you're looking to do as far as like in your home and in the community, right? So again, my name is Omar Pineda. I'm your Austin realtor with eXp Realty, and subscribe to the channel, because a lot of times with these new build communities, there are some amazing deals that happen, but they're all super time sensitive, right? And I post my videos weekly. I try to churn these out as quickly as I can, because some of these, when I go visit the builder, a lot of these incentives are tied in with either it being, you can only take advantage of the incentive if it's done by that weekend, or sometimes within that same month. So if you're not subscribed to the channel and being notified when a new video of mine pops up, you're going to miss out. Because if you're watching this months after the fact when I publish them, chances are the incentives have changed, and now all you can see is just what the floor plan looks like, right? So that's why it's very important, subscribe to the channel, because I keep up with all the new construction happening in the Austin area, especially North Austin, Williamson County, where I'm at. That's where I lived. I'm very, very knowledgeable about my market, especially when it comes to new construction, because new construction is where it's at as far as you're going to find the best deals. You're going to get a brand new home. That means you're going to have very little headaches in the beginning, which is what you want as a first-time home buyer, or as a buyer, I would say in general, because who wants to move into a home, pay all this money, and then have something break within the first year? With new construction, you're going to have that warranty that you could take full advantage of. With the Perry home, you're going to have that workmanship, that quality construction, and that 2-year warranty that nobody else does. That's one thing that makes Perry really stand out to me, is that they trust in their product that much that they're going to give you an extra year for it to take care of all the little items that may occur, right? So okay, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.